RTX Voice was big news this week. Did you try it, James?
I didn't try it myself, but I was involved in Alex's video, and I gotta say, this is the type of thing, you know, when you hear about a new technology and your imagination imagines like the best way it could be, and then when it actually comes out, it's the opposite of that. It's like tech news is so cool, and then tech is always like, it's okay. I have to wait another 3 years before it does what I want it to do. This was like promise delivered. I was like, oh, that would be cool in concept, and then it's actually like exceeding everyone's expectations. It's so awesome.
Yeah. Like that short circuit video, even though it went up like 2 or 3 days ago, has like 675,000 views, 50,000 upvotes. People are jazzed about RTX Voice. And the coolest thing about it is that, as it turns out, the impressive RTX Voice noise suppression app doesn't actually require ray tracing or RT or tensor cores to function. And there's a fallback. There's a fallback. No, there's a fallback to general purpose CUDA cores. And so,
but
yes,
the good thing about it being on tensor cores was that you could be gaming and streaming, and you could turn on RTX Voice without using any of the resources that you used to be contributing to those other things.
Yes, but also anecdotally, the GPU fallback mode uses very few GPU resources, with random HKID reporting 1 to 2% usage on a GTX 980 and about 300 megabytes of VRAM usage. So
sweet. This is the kind of thing where you're like, you use it, and suddenly I'm like, this is going to be on every app in 2 years. Everything's going to have it.
Yes.
Zoom is going to have it. Every phone app, every game. We all use it all the time. Don't turn it off. It's on by default. It's so sweet.
It's shockingly good. Like in the video, I've got my kids shrieking in the background behind me, like really giving her. And I mean, I couldn't hear the difference because I only hear like my monitoring is a direct feed from my mic. So it doesn't pass through RTX voice processing before I hear it. That's so that I don't have any latency on my own voice so that it's easier to talk. So I couldn't hear the difference it was making. I was just like, hey, Alex, is it like working now? And he's like, whoa, yeah. So I went back and I watched the video, and it's mind blowing. It's just unbelievable because I could see it being able to get rid of something simple, like the background hum of an air conditioning unit or something like that, right? Like something predictable. But to filter out human voices from a recording that is supposed to contain human voices, that's next level, right? Like filtering out the wrong voices. It's amazing.
This is going to be so awesome when this hits headphones.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
How long? Maybe 2 years or something like that. You'll be able to get headphones where the active noise canceling does variable waveforms rather than just the continuous waveforms we're used to from the engine hum. Actually can't hear any crying babies. Nothing.
Man, it's gonna change air travel forever. Assuming the air travel industry survives. Oops. Oh, sorry.
By the time you ride on a plane again, you might have these.
Yeah,
headphones.
I know, right? So the crazy thing is you can actually run the CUDA version on hardware as old as Fermi. So that would be GTX 400 series. It's like, wow. What is that, 10 years ago or something like that? It's ridiculous. 10, 11 years ago. All you have to do is make a quick edit to the file after launching the installer for it to install and run normally on non-RTX hardware. That's pretty crazy. Now, it may be...
any way to use this on integrated graphics at all?
No. So even the backup code path is CUDA. So that would require NVIDIA hardware. There's some speculation that the reason NVIDIA didn't just open it up to everyone might be that it does use some of your GPU resources that could otherwise be used for gaming, and does use some of your VRAM. So they might have been concerned about, I mean, we all remember the GTX 970 memory problem where part of the memory was slower that led to a class action lawsuit over false advertising. I mean, if they came out and they were like, hey, there's no performance impact, and it turns out there is a small performance impact, maybe that was their reason for withholding this version, or maybe they just wanted to trickle it out. I mean, they've definitely done that in the past where they've given us a little bit of good news followed by more good news, even though all the good news was ready in the first place.
NVIDIA is really good at AI. They publish a ton of AI research papers. If you ever follow the YouTuber 2 Minute Papers, sweet YouTube channel, does a lot of you know, like you see those research papers where they have like an algorithm just like removing something from a photo and like just interpolating what the space behind that object would have looked like, and it just looks perfect. NVIDIA does a lot of stuff like that. They're very good at AI, but I would expect other players to make similar technology to this really soon. Maybe it'll even end up being a pixel only feature from Google, because Google is also very good at AI.
Right. Yep. And I think that I'm trying to remember if the latest Pixels already have AI specific processing hardware in them. Do they have? I know Huawei brands it an NPU. I'm trying to remember if Google has an analogous unit inside the Snapdragon versions that they're using. I actually can't remember. I mean, there's a lot of phones that are already out there with AI specific hardware in them. And I use AI loosely here. What I really mean is machine learning, of course, in this case.
They had
But
it for a photo processor, I believe, and maybe like a secure enclave.
yeah, the secure enclave probably wouldn't be useful for this kind of thing, but the photo processor is something that could potentially be used. You'd never be on a call and taking a picture at this. Well, okay, you could, I guess, but that would be very rare to be on a call and taking a picture at the same time. So depending on the horsepower behind it, maybe you could see something like this in your phone. Man, that would be outstanding, wouldn't it? Love it.